Hey everybody, welcome back to Try Before We Die, the whiskey review show where we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. My name's Colin, and this is my pal Mal. What are you looking at?
Something's not quite right there.
Oh, Randy's cousin came in town.
Randy has a cousin.
Yeah, Red Randy.
Red Randy.
Yes. Randy had put in for some vacation time, and we said only if he finds a replacement because we're too busy, and that's his job.
That was very nice of us.
So Red Randy came to town. And Randy has assured us Red Randy knows the drill.
Okay, well, we'll soon find out.
Give us a random number of the over 400 bottles of single malt Scotch whiskey in this bar that we have not opened or tried, and we're going to give you our opinion of one right now. Do you want to...
I'd like to try out Red Randy.
Give Red Randy a run?
Oh, it's just as smooth as
All right,
Blue
let's
Randy.
see. Tonight it's going to be bottle 222, which going to put us on... I think for the first time on a high-level shelf on the back side. But we'll see everybody around the corner for sure for bottle 222. All right, I think I was right. I think we're on the top shelf here, first time. 214, 220, 221, 222. All right, that's fun. So we've got this Aultmore, this 12-year-old. This is a Speyside. In all seriousness and honesty, never had an Aultmore. It's been here for a while. We're a 12-year-old coming in at 46%. We're a Speyside. We'll see if we can learn a little something about color, but it certainly looks like a no color added and possibly quite smooth. Maybe right up Malcolm's alley. Never had one. Probably like really peated, dark, dirty, robust in gym socks, but it's a Speyside. We're going to find out together back at the bar. Hey, Mo.
What's up?
Got a nice Isla for you to try.
That's not nice. Actually, it could be.
Could be. Right? Color doesn't matter.
Color doesn't matter.
If it's natural color, a dark, ruddy red color can probably let us think about red wine or sherry. But we don't have that. We have this Aultmore, this Speyside 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Have you had an Aultmore before, Malcolm?
I can say that I have never had an Aultmore before.
Neither have I. As always, we open these bottles. Neither have I. This has been around for a while. It's moved location many times in the bar because it's the only expression we have.
Really?
Yeah. It's got like this old school tax
I see that.
ribbon across the top. So hopefully we won't have a cork failure. It says something. Distilled, the Aultmore Distillery, Bucky Road, Moray, Scotland. So, of course, Moray is definitely in the Speyside region. All right. What do you think? Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Cork's moving. Lively or subdued?
Like baritone. Oh, no.
Whoa.
That was like nothing really.
It was pretty subdued. Pretty subdued. All right, let's get it into a glass. Nothing. There it goes. All right.
The top of that was very odd. It almost looks like it's like smaller than a normal size bottle.
Of the bottle itself.
Yeah, like if you look at where the actual hole is, it looks like it's like awful small compared.
I don't know if you can see that. Mal is right. We have a very narrow cork. Very thick neck.
Yeah.
Yes.
That lip is like gigantic.
All right. So we've got since 1897, the Aultmore. Then down here, a nip of the Bucky Road.
The Bucky Road.
The Bucky Road.
All right.
Isn't there a baseball player, Buck? Bucky, Buck. Buck Johnson, Buck Rogers. No, he was somebody else.
Bucky Dent.
Bucky Dent. Yes. Good job, Malcolm. All right, anyway. We didn't come here to learn about Bucky Dent in baseball, but we'll probably TBWD something about that. The Aultmore Distillery, let's see, secluded site, natural color, no chill filtering. That's nice. And this bottle's been around a while, so it's nice to see that, that typography on the back, that acknowledgement. Takes its color from our casks aged, so slightly varied hues are normal from batch to batch. We don't chill filter our whiskey. Feel free to add ice, and don't worry if it goes cloudy. And because we're coming in at 46%, that is a possibility as it cools down. Let's see, is there anything that we're the cleanest taste? Our malted barley has no hint of peat, ensuring the smoothest, cleanest taste. This is right up your alley.
It is right up my alley.
Right?
I do enjoy a good Speyside.
And so what I'm going to be curious about, and we'll do a little research, is this a distillery that lends itself to a blend, right? Because we don't see a lot of the Ault'mores out there. At least I haven't.
Yep.
There's one other thing on the label that I did notice, and it's of the foggy moss.
I saw that.
Right. And so I have seen some other age statements very similar of the foggy moss. So we're going to try to figure out what that's all about too. And maybe there's something in those small words on the back about it. But since we have a natural color, let's talk a little bit about what that natural color is for this 12-year-old Ault'more coming in at 46%.
It's like very pale.
So, I mean, is it a virgin cask? Is it a bourbon cask? Because we know this isn't a wine cask. This is a Scotch whiskey.
I think this is a virgin cask.
Yeah, I mean, for 12 years, and this is the only color we're getting.
I'd be very impressed if this came with somebody else with a bourbon in there, because there is like hardly any color. This is like a pale yellow. Straw, early straw.
Yeah, so something interesting here. For over a century, the Ault'more was only sold in limited editions aimed at collectors.
Well, you are a collector.
I don't see anything right here about the casking or the casks, so we'll have to do some research. But I agree with Malcolm, and hopefully you can see too just how lightly colored this is. And with a little more golden in the bottle, but that's as the light is just reflecting all off of itself, and with those labels sort of bouncing the color back in. This is a very light whiskey.
Yes.
Right, for a 12-year-old, right? Not a
At
new
46 as well, right?
Not a new make 3-year-old, coming in that just has spent very little time in the wood. For 12 years in the wood.
Oh, I see my legs developing.
Yeah.
Because you really took off. You got like droplets and everything.
Yeah, I got all kinds of like Christmas light strings, right? Bead, line, bead, line, bead, line. Let's see. Yeah, and you're holding together a lot better.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe it's your glass cleaner.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't the original. It wasn't the guy you go to all the time.
What is that line? You had one job.
Well, I didn't do those, that's for sure.
All right. Well, all right. This color is not going to give us anything else, so let's just see what it smells like. Very light.
See, I'm going to beg to differ on that. I wouldn't say light is the word that you really want to use.
Really? I mean, I think it is light, but it's punchy with the alcohol.
There's like a tangy.
I was going to go with floral.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but
okay, now it's starting to relax.
There's something, and so I like this idea of tangy. There's something sharp in that floral, so I'm trying to think of an aroma that's sharply floral, unique, right? And so this isn't it, but in that sense, that cilantro is such an identifiable herb.
Yep.
Right? There's something that is a little more than the traditional Speyside floral going on in here, yet it's still a floral aroma.
I really want to throw myself down the citrus path, but there isn't.
Well, so I was going to a berry, but a berry that you can smell while it's intact, right? So that you haven't had to burst into a peach, right? Once you've bitten into that peach, it releases a lot of its aromas, right? But there are some berries that you can just pick up whole and you can nose.
It has a very distinct smell.
Like a strawberry, right?
Okay.
Right?
But it has a distinct smell.
Yeah. That's interesting. Very pleasant.
Yes.
Right? I think we're going to have a very nice Speyside this afternoon here on Try Before We Die.
Maybe like wet grass or hay.
Part of me was hoping is the hayfield outside was going to get done today, and then we would have had that just sort of all around us today, but it hasn't happened.
But it is very pleasant.
Yeah, I'm more fruity. I'm more fruity than your cut grass.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they're both not there.
But there is something like tangy.
I don't want to hang my hat again on that strawberry, but there is something that is, and it is strawberry season right now at the time of this recording in New Hampshire. All right. Maybe the palate will finish our understanding.
You may be right with that story.
So this, so far, very pleasant, weak cork, narrow cork, thick-necked Aultmore 12-year-old.
Pale.
Very pale, natural color, 46%, giving us floral, fruity, perhaps something grassy.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, right off, very good mouthfeel.
Yes.
Right? There's something substantial happening with this liquid. It's not thin in any stretch.
A lot more. Right. Oh, I think you're right with the strawberry. Just as I started to clean my palate with my tongue, I got the essence of strawberry.
Right. So there's something very warm happening too.
That's where I was going with it.
Right. So we have this very thick 12-year-old. I don't want to call it spicy, but it's warming and lingering, but as if it was a warm dessert. And so I'm going to now try to pay a little more attention to that fruit because I was so taken aback by the viscosity in this drink. And now that my mouth has adjusted and was prepared for the mouthfeel, that fruitiness, but it ends in something not tart, but not flat.
Tangy.
Like a sweet tart.
Okay.
All right, so we're back to this tangy.
Yeah.
Right? And a sweet tart.
Like a biscuity.
Is a little chalky, right? Okay, so there's something dry happening at the end of this.
And there's a lot more heat.
Yeah.
Than I give it credit.
Right, but not spice.
No.
Right.
Like I feel warm. Like I would have found this hard to believe, but this is something I would approach during like the cooler months.
If you were familiar with it.
Correct.
Yes. It's November, I'll have a Speyside, but I'll have that Aultmore 12 because I know it's going to warm me up a little bit, but still remind me of the summer.
Yes. Yeah. And it disappears, which I like. I don't have a lot of lingering going on.
Once you clean your palate,
it like goes. Right. You're ready for your next round to recoat.
The only lingering I have is that biscuity, tangy, chalky on my tongue, that end.
But I do like your strawberry.
It is interesting.
I do like your strawberry.
It's not a dominant flavor.
No.
But it's hovering around this warmth.
But it makes it a very pleasant dram because you get this nice sweet that leads into this what we're going to say, this tart, this
Right.
chalky, this biscuity end.
Yeah.
And then you get this warming feeling that just like goes right through. I'm
Yeah.
like right to about here. Not overpowering, not like, oh,
No.
but enough
not
to
at
be
all.
like, okay,
Yeah.
I can taste this. I can feel this. This is really pleasant.
You know, again, I don't want us to lose sight of the mouthfeel happening here too. There's 46% ABV. This really moderate mouthfeel for a Speyside.
True. Which is
Right.
like, that's the twist in this.
Yeah.
And like we've had this conversation before, I think 46 is that right, it's the right moment for alcohol.
I know you
You're
like
not going
that.
to get burnt,
Yeah.
but you're going to get something that's a little bit more punchy than your 40, your 43. And what I like about this is it's just a pleasant package all over. Like there's nothing over here that's sort of turning my nose up or I'm like having a hard time to deal with. This is just a good draw from the beginning. It gets into your mouth. That mouthfeel that coats your mouth to you cleaning your palate as you put your tongue to the top of your mouth to bring everything back, and then you get this warming feeling.
Now, let's see how well Malcolm knows me. And let's see, and we'll be honest in a TBWD fact later about if I've got this right. But as you know, I spend a lot of time just learning about whiskey,
Okay.
but never in preparation for a specific bottle here, but just about whiskey in general, because you often ask me, how do you know that? Right?
Yes.
And so my belief is the Aultmore, and though I've never had one,
Okay.
this is the only example in this bar currently, that there is some connection for this distillery, its heritage, something's going on here with the what was it, the Foggy Moss, the what road?
Bucky.
The Bucky Road. There's something going on in all of that symbolically, or some club or something related to something I really enjoy doing these days in my life.
Fishing?
Yes. So my belief is there's a fishing connection to this distillery or its fans or the Foggy Moss or the Bucky Road. Something's going on there. And so I will find out.
All right.
All right. And Mal knows me because first guess, it was fishing.
Yeah.
Nice shirt, by the way, buddy.
This is, I'm channeling you.
Yeah.
I'm channeling you for all the pains.
All right. So the Aultmore, a Speyside that offers more. The Aultmore.
Yeah,
More.
I'm really impressed with this.
I am too. From beginning to end, opens with the viscosity, ends with the chalky tang, and is filled with warming fruit.
Yeah, no, I'm really impressed with this.
All right. Well, let's see if we're impressed with the crew and what they have for us tonight.
These guys, they're really,
Speaking of fishing,
speaking of fishing,
all right, may we always be surrounded by great friends and great adventures.
cheers, mate.
Cheers. The Aultmore 12-year-old. This is a nice whiskey. You know, Mal, what I was imagining is that we were going to have an incredibly smooth Speyside that wasn't full of character, but that was just very smooth.
Yep.
And I think what we had was both. A very smooth Speyside full of character.
I like this because it sort of took me off the beaten path of Speysides. This was not what I think of a Speyside in the sense. You get a great feel from Speysides, right? You get this easiness of going. This was like everything but a little bit more in the package.
The Aultmore.
More. Cheers, mate.